Maggie, can you hear us? Just nod your head if you want. Oh, Maggie, can you hear us? Just nod your head or give us a thumbs up or something. Oh, hey, Maggie, can you hear us? Don't know. Is the audio working, Maggie? Okay. Mic check. Hey, Maggie, can you hear us? We're working on the audio over here. She's on mute. Okay, yeah, but thumbs up. You can hear us from over here. Cool. Excellent. All right. Yes, I'll call for that. We'll get there, pal, one step at a time. You know, don't have to be in a rush. Okay, as always, I like to start out with welcoming everyone that is here today. Thank you for coming either in person or tuning in online. For those that watch us on YouTube or the Facebook channel. As always, please silence your cell phones. Just take a second and make sure your cell phone is actually on silent so that it is not disruptive to the meeting. We want to make sure we respect one another's time and each speaker speaking. We ask for your patience and understanding. We appreciate it as council deliberates on various agenda items. There is open public comment at every meeting, and the signups are just in the front here. And so if you're here in person, you're welcome to sign up, and we do encourage that. There is a specific public hearing tonight for Resolution 27-25, which is about delinquent personal property tax collection. And so if you would like to sign up for that specific public hearing, there's a separate sign-up sheet to do that. We want to acknowledge the staff work in preparation for this meeting. Their insights are invaluable to each topic of town business. And appreciation for our town manager, Natasha Tucker. We operate under the council manager form of government, and Natasha handles our daily operations and department administration, while the town council provides direction and authorizes policy in accordance with the laws of the Commonwealth of Virginia and the town charter. While each council member has the ultimate responsibility to contribute, we do function as a body, and collaboration is key. We are each responsible to withhold our duties ethically to the citizens of Colonial Beach. We are going to engage in constructive discussion, remain open to different perspectives, and work together for effective resolutions. And finally, I remind us all that the meetings of the Town Council are formal proceedings and are thus recorded. With that, we call this Town Council work session meeting to order. Wednesday, October 1st, 2025, and I got 6:05 p.m. All right, first up is our roll call of members, and we're doing something a little bit unique tonight because all members are present, but we have to have Ms. Sanford check in from the Zoom call. So Maggie, I'm going to ask you to state your name, state your location, and your reason for being virtual, and then you'll be able to participate. Oh wait, unmute. Volume up? Hold on, Heather's working on it. Mic check us, Maggie?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Maggie Sanford, I'm at my house, and I am zooming into the meetings. I had my baby 2 weeks ago, so I am at home with the baby right now.
Yay. Good for you. I'm just glad that you're here with us on Zoom. All right, Pal, is that all good?
Sure, that's good.
Excellent. All right, with that, all members are present. The remainder of the members are here in person. And I don't have any additions to the agenda. Is there approval of the agenda as it's written? Is there a
So
motion?
moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, nobody speak all at once. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Maggie, you good with the agenda? Excellent. All right, we don't have a consent agenda tonight, so we're going to jump straight to council member liaison and commission reports. And I'm going to start with Mr. Wood on your side.
Good evening, everyone. Got a lot of good news for us today. Colonial Beach Police Department is going to be hosting the National Night Out event on Tuesday, October 14th on Town Hill from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Everyone's welcome to attend. It's a fun event. It's free, and come on out and meet your cops. Is that better? The police department is pleased to announce that 2 new officer recruits, Ms. Soroya Kivanfar and Mr. Brian Tinder, will be entering the police academy this coming Monday. We wish them all the best in completing the 5-month course successfully. And the police department recently received a very positive final report from the accreditation assessment that the department went through in May. Police department passed all 192 of 192 accreditation standards. That's outstanding. Thank you, Chief. The report will be presented at a meeting later this month. I believe that's on the 9th. Is that right, Chief? Okay, and we're looking forward to hearing about your success there. The Planning Commission met on September 11th. 2 new appointments by council are needed to fill the remainder of Mr. Thompson's and Ms. Kurt's terms. Interested citizens are asked to complete an online application. So far, we've received 2 apps. By ordinance, members of the Planning Commission must be town residents and qualified by knowledge and experience to make decisions on questions of community growth and development. Following a public hearing at the September 11th meeting, the Planning Commission voted unanimously to recommend approval of amendments to Article 22, the zoning ordinance regarding tree removal, trimming, and permitting requirements. This ordinance amendment is being introduced to council later tonight. The commission will hold a public hearing at their meeting next Thursday, October the 9th, on revised amendments to the previous staff's work on Article 13 parking. The amendments do roll back some of the new regulations of the previous version, and they also offer reduced parking for mixed-use development and expanded shared parking. In September, there were 20 permits issued, 1 short-term rental, 3 general zoning, 8 accessory structures, 4 woodlot management permits, 2 single-family dwelling, 2 addition, and 1 demolition permit. The average number of staff days to issue a permit was less than 9 days. That's just an incredible speeding up of that process. A total of 129 short-term rental permits have been issued. There are currently 6 notices of violation issued for those who have not obtained permits. Staff is pursuing their compliance or will proceed with legal action. And I'm sure you're going to meet a new member of our staff later. I had an opportunity to meet her today, and more than impressed, but I won't steal the town manager's thunder. Thanks.
Good evening, everybody. Just a couple of follow-ups from last meeting's NGO announcements. Just a reminder, the Alexander Graham Bell croquet tournament is this weekend on Town Hill on Sunday. I spoke about it at length last time. You can look that up online, see the details. The Memories Matter walk for Alzheimer's is coming up as well. October 7th is the day at Lito's Pizza where they're donating 20% of their entire take of the day towards this thing. So I think that's an impressive commitment on the part of one of our local retailers, and support them if you can. The actual walk is on October the 18th and will launch from the gun, the main gun in town. And last up, the Around Town Golf Cart Scavenger Hunt put on by BAM is coming up as well on the 19th of October. And all of the proceeds from that go to support scholarships. And that's it for me.
Mr. Williams?
Good evening, everybody. I don't really have anything for the schools. We haven't had any meetings since our last council meeting. But I did want to ask because I've had a couple of constituents ask me about the appointments for the Planning Commission. Do we have a deadline for the applications? Does anybody know?
Could you answer, Darrell?
I guess the concern that they raised was that we've been a few months without members, so that's why I was curious if we had a deadline, since we have at least a couple applications.
Madam Mayor, members of council, we haven't set an official deadline. That would be up to council. We certainly would welcome, setting a deadline so that we could move forward. We do have 2 applications, and we have 2 vacancies at this point. So we can be happy to put those in your next packet. If we can end the applications, say within the next week or so, and have them, any applications that we receive for your meeting, I think it's on the 15th, and ask for your appointments at that meeting if you're comfortable doing that. So we'll put those in your next packet that would go out the week before, so the end of next week.
Okay, thank you. I would support
Right.
that, if the rest of the council
Yeah.
would.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's all I had.
Okay, Ms. Grandstaff.
Good evening, everyone. There's no reporting at this time for the EDC, as we have not met, and our next meeting will be on October the 14th. Thank you.
Maggie, do you want to report from Zoom, or do you want to pass?
I'll report.
Cool.
So, good evening, everyone. I have a short report for Parks and Recreation tonight. There are 4 upcoming events coming up in October. 2 have already been talked about tonight, but the other 2 are the Fredericksburg Fallen Heroes Annual Barbecue Cook-Off is Saturday, October 4th, so it's this weekend from 12 to 4 p.m. On Town Hill, and entry is free. There is also the Colonial Beach 11th Annual Bike Fest is October 9th through the 12th. Free to attend, free parking, and free concerts. And then you can find more information if you visit colonialbeachbikefest.com. And then also we still have 2 openings for the Parks and Recreation Advisory Commission. This commission is now meeting quarterly, and our first quarterly meeting is going to be next week, October 7th, on Tuesday. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Mr. Allison?
Good evening, everybody. The Public Works Liaison, have a couple announcements from the Public Works Department. In terms of infrastructure and utilities, there were 2 repaired water leaks, 1 completed sewer install, 2 cleared sewer backups, and for the water meter system, they installed repeaters to improve accuracy and efficiency. In terms of the wastewater treatment plant, they continue to support maintenance and operational repairs for the wastewater treatment plant. General service, event support, and beautification. They began beautification of the Memorial Cannon, so make sure you go by and take a look at that. And provided general beach and property maintenance. Now moving on to streets, there was ongoing ditch cleaning and rehabilitation for drainage and flood prevention, and continued right-of-way maintenance across town. And that's all I have for this evening.
Great, thank you. All right, I have just a few things. First, I just wanted to give a shout out and a thank you to Travis Cook, the commander of the American Legion, who presented about the program Healing Waters at our Comrel event last week. This is a program, just so you, to give a little bit of advocacy on his behalf, that works with veterans or active duty military that have any kind of need. So you do not have to be physically disabled necessarily, but any kind of need can qualify you, and it is all about fly fishing. And so it is sort of a therapy around fly fishing. You get to go fly fishing, you learn how to tie lures and things like that, and have some camaraderie with other veterans or other people who have maybe also similar needs or similar experiences. And it just was very touching, his presentation. The work he is doing here in Colonial Beach, I think, speaks to a lot of our resident population who has strong ties to the military and has experiences that can help guide one another and support one another. And so the work Travis is doing is right now through the Fredericksburg branch, but he has a local Colonial Beach chapter, and it is growing. And so if you would like information on that, you can reach out to Travis Cook at the American Legion, or you can reach out to me and I can put you in contact with Travis. But I just really wanted to give them a shout out for such a great job in promoting that program to Comrel. And also, I think it just touches on the values that are reflected here in the town. And then my second shout out is to Charlotte Cole, who also presented at Comrel on behalf of the town for the work of downtown Colonial Beach and the work of Marina Way. It was hosted at Ice House Marina and Brewery, which is on Marina Way, so it was very fitting. And with the range and the connection we have to Dahlgren being the river, also very interesting, I think, to a lot of our military partners. I want to, in association with that, just set out the date out there. October 6th is the connectivity plan stakeholder meeting. We do these every time we are getting these major plans that are going to start to implement steps that you have to be ready for years in advance. And so your feedback during this time is very important. And so I really recommend, if you're able to get out to the Colonial Beach Elementary School Monday, October 6th between 6 and 8 p.m. The plan is online. The links have been shared on Facebook. I'm sure they're on the town website as well. And there is a digital survey you can do. But coming to the actual stakeholder meeting, that feedback is going to be much more beneficial to impacting the plan. So if you can get the digital version, that's great. But coming in person to the stakeholder meeting will mean a lot. Also, I want to highlight and thank the Northern Neck Historical Society. They publish, if anybody doesn't know, I think annually, a historical magazine. It looks like this, and there are many, 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 many volumes of this historical magazine that document the history and many other articles of the Northern Neck. And this publication, for the very first time in its history, has the history of the town of Colonial Beach in it. And I'm just going to say, for better or worse, I wrote it. So I had a lot of help, though. Tom Moncure was a wonderful editor, as well as the Colonial Beach Museum, who also reviewed the article. It is a educational publication and does have to meet some pretty steep guidelines for documentation, and I haven't written like that since I was in college. So anyway, we are now the town of Colonial Beach and the history of Colonial Beach, at least a small bit of it, because it's only a few pages long, and obviously we have a lot more history than just that. At least it is now highlighted in that publication. So if you would like a copy, you can contact the Historical Society, the Northern Neck Historical Society, which is based in Montrose. You can also join, and they always need more support and more members to support the magazine and support the work of documenting the history in the Northern Neck. With that, the James Monroe Birthplace will be holding a celebration later in October, and a couple weeks from now, for the birthday of James Monroe. And they have just applied Monday for a grant from the Commonwealth Historical Funds for more improvements to the grounds over there. So let's hope and wish them well on that grant application, as the Northern Neck, or the anniversary, the 250th anniversary of the United States is upcoming. There are some funds out there related to that, so we hope to pull some of that interest here to Westmoreland County, where it truly was the beginning of the development of our independent nation, as Leestown Resolves were written just down the street. So just going to say, Massachusetts doesn't have anything on Westmoreland County, Virginia. Put that out there. The last thing I want to do is similar to Mr. Williams' request for like, getting the planning commission members on the next meeting. But also in November, if you recall, council members, we have had these two, part one and part two, from Davenport reports, major financial reports about capital improvements. We have obviously on here the resolution for the proceeding with the items that are prioritized and obligated from the consent order. Those are kind of obvious, got to do, items. But there are a remainder of other items on those, and we have talked about organizing a special work group day, just like a session just dedicated to that. So I was going to throw out there the November work session date. Not having anything else interfere with that agenda, but inviting back Davenport, giving everybody a month. It's a little bit more than a month, actually, to get questions to staff, questions to Davenport in, so that they are prepared and ready, so that we can have a little bit more of a on-the-table focus on those items, moving forward with both the funding and action items that we're going to be committing to within the CIP. That is a result of all the work that we've asked them to do. So just want to kind of throw out that November work session date for that and see if there was any potential conflicts.
I do. I'm going to be having surgery that week.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, it's all for the better. But,
Okay.
anyway,
Well, that's why I
so-
threw it out there, so now
yeah,
I know.
exactly. So unfortunately, I won't be able to do it because I literally wouldn't be able to see it anyway.
Okay, so is the Wednesday before what would be the work session? Well, I don't know when your surgery is, and I don't mean to put you on the
well,
spot
I'm-
about your personal medical.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll accept alms. So the Friday before, I have a pre-op appointment, and then I'm going to be out of commission from Monday, basically that entire week. So the Wednesday before, is that what you said?
Yeah, which would be October 29th. It would still be 4 weeks from now.
Understood.
Yeah, so I don't know. What do you think about that? I can't do the Wednesday after that. But I don't want to go too far. We start to push into December, we're pushing into the holidays, and all of a sudden we're into towards 2026.
I got you.
So
Can we add it to the regular meeting? I mean, maybe,
I think that this really deserves just a focus just on this one item. And it doesn't have to be the 6 p.m. Wednesday timeframe. I just know we kind of blog out Wednesday 6 in our own personal calendar. So I was just kind of throwing out as a starting place.
Well, Tuesday through Thursday, I'm fine for any of those days, so,
Okay, for the week before.
yeah.
What about anybody else? What if if
It would be an evening meeting.
I'm kind of throwing out Wednesday, the 29th at 6 p.m.
I can do that.
Yeah?
I'm good with that.
You're not sure? You're good? Maggie, all right, so we got thumbs up. Okay, so, I say this because I want to make sure Heather has enough time to advertise, especially if we pick a different date. She has to set the day and time. So, David, do you want to just check your calendar and get back with us by Friday, maybe? Is that okay? Okay, cool. Excellent. And we could do that in lieu of the November work session. We just would, or we can do both meetings. I guess we'll see if we need to keep the work session as well or not. Sound good? Okay. All right. That's all I got. Oh, and because this is a work session, not a regular meeting, I don't have town manager report on this, so should I introduce Angela? Well, can you just stand up and just introduce yourself a little bit and say hello to us? We did hear about you last meeting, but we didn't get to see you, and
Hello, I'm Angela Lawrence. I started Monday as the Director of Planning and Community Development. And I'm pleased to be here. Been working with Darla for a couple of days, and we'll continue that transition and let you know what that looks like in the coming weeks. But excited to be here. I've been town manager at several localities in Virginia and one in Maryland. I, years ago, was a certified planning commissioner and have been on the elected side as well. So happy to serve in this role, happy to get back to what I was doing years and years ago, and looking forward to it. I mean, I've been doing planning and zoning for small localities, so anyway, any questions?
Go ahead. No?
Oh, no, just a compliment, actually. I had the opportunity to meet you today, and even though we're going to miss Darla, but not right away, but certainly we are in good hands, and I thank you for offering your assistance to our town.
I'm pleased to be here, and I am going to be a resident of the town, so pleased to be living here as well.
I love hearing that.
Yeah.
That's very important to us here. We want you to experience the same problems that we have. The same joy. That's what I said, Nigel. That's what I said.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, with that, we don't have any other presentations today, so we'll go to public comment. And I know Supervisor Trivett is here, who was not able to be at the last regular meeting, so welcome, Mr. Trivett.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Town Council. It's good to see you. I won't be at your October 15th meeting because our meeting will be on October the 15th as well, due to the holiday on that Monday, and it happens every year. So, but if there's anything that you would like for me to relay, you know, I think most of you know my number or my email address, and please let me know, and I'll be more than glad to share information if nobody comes from the town that night. That's totally understandable. I think most of you have heard of Dale Hendon, or some of you have even met him, our new Economic Development Director. He gave a presentation at our last meeting, and it was interesting. I think he realized he's going to have his work cut out for him because we live between two rivers. And the Rappahannock side is all farmers. So what are you going to develop when you have 40 farms down there that probably you're going to have opposition to? And then the other side's the Potomac, where it's seafood. And I've heard this many times, so it's worth repeating. But we're gonna work on it. We said, you know, two of the main things that we need to try to figure out is medical, which is number one priority from anybody we hear from in this county or town, and affordable housing. So those are some things that we hope we're going to find locations and you know, be able to move forward with him finding some things to develop in the county. The tree up there, and I know it's been a month since I've been, so I don't know if I've mentioned anything or whether it's been said, but David Beal he got right on it. It took a little bit because he was trying to work with McDonald's to get that tree trimmed or whatever, because they own it. It's on their property, but he did send a crew up there, and they did what was in the right-of-way, which was 100% better. Thank you, Ms. Grandstaff, for bringing that to the attention. And so he was glad to do that. And anytime you see anything along 205 that you think the highway department can do, David has just been fantastic, and he's very responsive. I called him, he was on vacation, and he called and tried to get somebody there as quick as possible. We do have, somebody reminded me tonight that we have our finance director position open. Our finance director will be retiring at the end of the year, so we hope to fill that position pretty soon if you know anybody that's interested. Montrose Fall Festival will be this weekend, and I know we have lots of things going on in town every weekend, it seems like, but that will be down there. And this year they're going to be recognizing EMS and first responders. They're going to have a tractor trailer, I think, that's going to hopefully load up a lot of those folks, and you know, they'll be given a warm welcome for the contributions that they make to us and also in the region. So that's coming up. And Chief, I can't congratulate you enough on accreditation. You know, it never ends either. You know, you spend all these hundreds of hours getting it there, and then when you get it there, it starts all over again, as you well know. The public may not know that, but it never ends. And that's quite a on-taking to do, especially with a small department. And I mean, you need to be commended, no doubt, for that. it gives you, you know, access to grants and recognition, and I mean, you know, great job. Is there anything that, and I know there might have been some things that come up at the last meeting that I wouldn't remember because I was in Colorado, so, and I didn't watch it. But is there any questions for me about anything that you might be thinking of that I might not be thinking of?
I don't think so.
Okay, great. Look forward to seeing you soon and having some information for you in the near future, and I see brighter things coming.
Will you invite the new economic director to maybe our
Meeting?
next meeting and,
Yeah.
yeah, so he can
It
introduce
won't be the
himself
next
down there?
meeting because we'll have our own
Oh,
meeting that
that's
night.
right. But, yeah, November or
Maybe
just
November, or,
sometime.
I mean, I can ask him if he's, well, he'll probably be at our meeting because
He'll
you
be at
never
your
know when there's
meeting.
questions
Yeah, that's
that
okay, just
that may come
sometime.
up. But sure, we'll get him down here, and you know, Mr. Taylor's it might be time for him to come back again and, you know, have a chat, so.
Mr. Taylor was at Comrose, much appreciated too, and I think he made a lot of, you know, a lot of good connections there. I think it was
Oh,
his
good.
first Comrel since he started, so. That was good.
Yeah, I think you're right. And so anyway, we're working, you know, we've got some issues that we're working with town manager and the attorney and with things that we've talked about for a long time with, you know, phone towers and radio towers and all these things. So we're working on those things even though people don't hear about them. We haven't forgot. We're working on them and keeping those things moving forward. And I'm looking forward to some of the things to come that I think that we're going to be able to resolve in the near future, so. No other questions? Got my tax bill today. Wish I didn't have to pay it, but, you know, we all got to do it.
I got the county one like 2 months ago.
Yeah, so did I. I will tell you, though, that actually, we've talked about maybe going to twice a year as well. Understand we've got some opposition against it from the people that would have to make that happen, but we're hoping that maybe we can overcome that. We just met with Davenport, and they, you know, they told us, gosh, you know, it'd save a lot of money and make a big impact, but, you know, we might have to hire another person to help out in the office, you know, some to accommodate that. But I'm hoping that we do go to twice a year, just like the town does, and I think that would help us maybe. So there are things happening. Thank you. Good seeing you.
Thank you. Is anybody else signed up? Mr. Eric Nelson. Welcome.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Council. First, just quickly, I want to tell you how nice it is to be home. I've been traveling for a month, and I had a wonderful time, but there's no place like home. There's no place like Colonial Beach, and I just feel so happy to be home. So I just want to say that. Also, I want to underscore what you were saying, Madam Mayor, about the meeting on Monday. As president of Downtown Colonial Beach, we take very seriously that Downtown Colonial Beach is a private-public partnership, and we need to hear from the public their concerns about how we are going to be implementing this, all the recommendations that the consultant will be presenting to us. So I really do encourage anybody who's listening here in the audience or at home to please come to the meeting on Monday, October 6th at 6 o'clock at the school. So please come to that. And just finally, I hope all of you have been following the exciting things happening on the other side of that empty field there with CB Creative, the new art center. If you haven't been there recently, it's super exciting. We now have outfitted the garage to be a pottery workshop, so you will be able to take classes in making pottery and firing pottery, and there's other classes going on. So if you walk in there now, we are really truly an art center, and it's really very exciting to be where we are. We've been open now about a year, and I think everything has come together very nicely. So that's all I'd say. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right. Keep moving forward. Next up on our agenda is our public hearing. This is in relation to Resolution 27-25, delinquent personal property tax collection. Before I open the public hearing, I'll give Adam a minute just to intro we had a discussion on this at the last meeting, but just to reintroduce the item before I open the public comment.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, council members. The 2725 is for us to approve TACS to collect our delinquent personal property. Back in June, you all did approve it. However, TACS requires us to have a council action so they can charge the 20% collection fee. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Nice and sweet and to the point, Adam. Good job. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing. During all public comments, especially during hearings, we ask that certain guidelines be followed. Please stand at the podium and for the record, state your name and address. If you'd like to be contacted, you need to provide your contact information to the clerk. Make your comments to the council as a whole. Be brief, state your position, provide facts. There is only 5 minutes limited to each speaker, and you cannot transfer time to another speaker. You may provide written statements or supporting materials. You can hand them to the clerk for distribution to the council or town manager. We don't debate, but we will follow up on comments provided by the town manager and speak clearly so that we can hear what you have to say. And with that, we will open the public hearing at, I got 6:39 p.m. for Resolution 27-25. Welcome, Mr. Long.
Thank you. Nigel Long, 115 Lynn Court. Totally in favour of what's being proposed here. Just a couple of questions or suggestions. I think it might be interesting for the public and the town councillors to know when our finance department goes to collection. How long after the bill is due do you do that? And secondly, as a suggestion, there is clear notification on the personal property tax bill as to what penalties apply for people who pay late. I'd like to suggest that you add the notification that if the bill is not paid within, let's say it's 60 days or whenever you start to bring them forward, that there will be an additional 20% penalty for going to collections. That might also make sure that delinquent taxpayers are aware of what's coming for them if they don't pay. That was my suggestions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Long. Is there anyone else signed up? Would anybody else like to speak at this public hearing? All right. With that, I'm going to close the public hearing at 6:40 p.m. And the item is now up for action. We can do a motion a second and then have discussion if you like.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's now open for discussion. I think to Mr. Long's point, is it years, 2 years? Is it like real estate taxes or is it different than that? Personal property. Where, there he is.
Personal properties, actually, we can start collecting after 6 months.
6 months. So you have to be delinquent 6 months.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That's when we can send it to TACS. That's when we can officially start our collection process.
That's when you can start it.
Correct.
So it would still be not like tomorrow that this
No,
would start
no, ma'am.
regardless? Just so people that are listening can understand.
Well, if council approved it, it would start for the delinquent monies that are outstanding currently.
That are more than 6 months. old.
Correct, which is everything is more than 6 months right now, except for the current bill. The delinquencies are 2024. 2025 bills just went out
Got it.
Monday.
Okay.
So everything would be up for collections except for the 2025 amounts.
Okay, I would recommend that we're going to give notice, though, if we're actually going to start that process and add the 20% fee.
So we don't add that 20% fee.
I know, they do, but if we are using a company that adds 20%, we should still give notice that the collections process has changed to do that.
How would you like us to do that?
I don't know, the bill just went out, so we're late on this one.
Yeah.
In the next water bill? I don't know. Ideas? Natasha?
That won't go out until December.
And how have we been collecting before?
Basically through the finance office.
Right, so giving it 3 months wouldn't be any different than what we're doing right now.
No.
Okay.
So you want us to wait until the next utility bills go out, put a notice in that utility bill regarding delinquent personal property, and then we can start sending everything over the tax in January?
I'm looking for feedback from council
that-
members too. What do you guys think about this?
That makes sense to me.
Sound good?
To your point,
Yeah.
get 3 months head start notice if you're going to get the extra 20%, so, and we don't spend any more on a mailing, so.
I was just going to ask, Powell, what's the legal requirement for notifying the public? I know we're having a public hearing on the 20%, but
Well, we're having a public hearing as pursuant to statute. You can do the 20%. I don't think there's any other legal requirement to give notice. It's more of a courtesy to let people know what's going on.
okay, thank you.
I think the point is if they are not late, they won't get the 20% either way. So we're giving them the option to pay it ahead of time before they get delinquent, right?
Or before we get to 20%, if we wait to give the file to tax to start collections, if we wait till January, they'll have until then and avoid getting that extra 20%, if that's the way you'd like to go.
Yeah, I think if I'm understanding that, that's where my head was
So we'll send a notice
at.
out with the next utility bill.
Right.
And tell them that 20% fee will start being assessed in January.
Yes, by tax, not by
By
us,
tax,
but
correct.
Just so that they
We'll make it clear.
understand. Yeah.
Do we have a handle on how much revenue we'll be losing by delaying it 3 months? None?
No, I
Okay.
really, I mean, you couldn't quantify, because even if it goes to tax, and it could take years for tax to collect it, or, whatever, so, it depends if they're gonna pay. If they don't pay, it's still gonna stay delinquent, so,
Okay.
yeah.
So if it's no harm, no foul, then.
No, not really.
Okay.
Maggie, I want to make sure you're included over there on Zoom if you have any.
I was gonna say, maybe it would probably be a good idea to add something to our website and also social media, just so we do our due diligence. To make sure that everybody's aware of this.
Yep. And we can be encouraging people to pay it prior to the December billing because they won't get the additional tax
Yeah, if we start putting it out on
fee.
social media now, and then
Right.
with the formal mailing, and then come January, we'll just implement everything.
All right. Policy-wise, everybody
Sound
seeing
good?
head nods on that side? Yeah.
I just wanted to suggest, since this is a work session, that we should hold the vote until our next meeting.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. This is up for a motion second right now, so we can either delay or we can hold it until, honestly, I wasn't thinking about it, to be honest with you. I do like to normally vote at the regular meeting.
I say we vote now and get the process started.
Yeah, I honestly, once we have a seconded motion, and we've already had discussion, then I think it's probably a good policy to go ahead and hold the vote.
Well, by the rules of Robert's Rules of Order, I have to hold the vote, but we can vote yea or nay about this or delaying it till next time.
I guess I could, what's that, amend the motion to?
You can amend the
to-
motion
To delay
to,
the vote till our regular meeting, which is, okay.
and then we can vote on that first, and then we'll
Okay.
come back to the motion if it fails.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
All right. And I don't remember who made the original motion. I think it was Kenny. Rick?
Nay.
Okay. Nay for delaying it?
Yes.
All right, we'll just go down then. Larson?
Nay.
Okay.
Aye.
Okay. Lisa?
Nay.
Okay.
Nay.
Nay. Nay.
All right, I say aye, but I still lost that battle, so we'll say, so now we're gonna vote on the motion as it stands with the policy direction to, begin the tax services January 1 and give notice Facebook, website, water bill, and the public hearing that happened, and the 2 weeks' notice that happened prior to this. Okay. All right, on that one, I'm going to start on the opposite side this time. Lisa?
Aye.
Excellent. Maggie? Okay.
Aye.
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 And aye. All right. There we go. Next up, Resolution 28-25, approval of the 2026 legislative agenda. Kyler, you cleaned it up. We worked through it. We pared it down.
It is all cleaned up, ready to go. We had our 13 priorities that the council elected to move to 7, which, as you notice in this new 6-page document, we had 7. We combined C and H as desired. And we've obviously kept the same format as we had last year with some of the goals that we're looking for. We've updated some of the addresses and phone numbers that were incorrect last year. And we are ready to go. I have a little one sheet at the end, which is kind of a little infographic, easy for the legislators to look at. And the fun part after this is approved is we get to have those conversations. And luckily, we have a roadmap with our CIP and our needs that we have, and we will go to work on these once it's approved.
All right, I like the infographic. That was a good addition, I thought. It was eye-catching.
Thank you.
Okay, we have discussed this at 2 meetings now, so if there's a motion, we can entertain this meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All right, any discussion on how it looks after the work we've done with it? Yes, Ms. Williams.
Yes, at the last meeting, we discussed, part of the process was we were going to have actual projects listed out so that we could present something to the legislature versus just, generic. Do you guys have any projects outlined? Because I haven't seen anything in the email or presented to council.
Correct. So this is our base map, right? And the council, you've already done the work, right? We have our CIP, which as you look at wastewater and community infrastructure, we know what our needs are based off of that and off of our funding requests. And so this priority list doesn't need to have necessarily specific projects in it because it's just a base map, if you will. But we will take our CIP and the needs we know we have, so when we meet with our legislators, we will tell them specifically, here's what we needed funding, here's what we need help with. And then the other items are going to be more policy-driven, right? It's going to be the LRM, it's going to be healthcare, letting them know, we don't have anything in town, we need these different options.
Okay. Is that something council can see, like once you guys have it and ready to present to the legislature?
Besides the CIP, or I guess, what are you looking for exactly?
You said you were going to present those when you went to legislator.
Correct, based off of the documentation we already have through the CIP and our other funding needs.
Right. I just wanted to know if we could see that. Once you
So you
have
want
it
to see
ready
the
and send it,
CIP?
you're going to send it to them.
I think the CIP is the document. So what we do is, like logistically how it works is you meet with a legislator and you say, what are the goals in Colonial Beach? What are your items, right? Well, we have this priority list. We give them the one sheet and, we kind of say what's on the docket, what's going up, what committees are you on, things like that. And then they have, let's say they're on a committee that works with sewer infrastructure. Then we say, we can send you more information, which is the CIP documents, or in the sewer infrastructure aspect, it's the consent order and the other reports, engineering reports and things like that, that are related to that particular item. So these are sort of like 7 umbrellas, and then all the supporting documents come from lots of places, but the list of them is the CIP. That's the way we've worked in the past. I don't know, Kyle.
No, that's exactly right. So when we meet with them, just like you said, we would ask them, one, what do they see coming up from appropriation bills, from different legislation, so they can let us know what to be aware of. And then when they do tell us, we can tell them, okay, here's our priorities, here's the projects we would like to help get funded that meet the criteria that's in those bills. And a lot of that is going to come from the CIP, which is a planning document that y'all have already approved.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
You're welcome.
I did have one item on this and it's really from Lisa. When we were working through this, was to add in the local access to, in economic development, I think it was to add the words affordable housing into that descriptor, because it really, I think, in order to have economic development, you have to also be considerate of affordable housing. So it wasn't to have a whole affordable housing extra bubble. Was that, Lisa, do you remember that kind of, that caveat in there? So I just want to throw that out if we,
Can you repeat that language, please, to add affordable housing?
yeah, just, so where it says funding and grants to support downtown revitalization, small business growth, affordable housing, and tourism initiatives that strengthen local businesses and attract visitors. Do you see what I'm saying? Just put that term in with all the commas things, because affordable housing ultimately supports your workforce, and your workforce supports small business, right? And economic
If
development.
the council so wishes, we can add that language very easily.
I'm just throwing it out there as a discussion point to council, if you,
I agree.
Yeah, it's a
Yes.
license to hunt, so why not add it to the?
Yeah, 100%.
okay, so I will propose that as an amendment to this motion to add that in. We'll vote on that, and then we'll come back to vote on the document as a whole, whether we, yay or nay the affordable housing term.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, awesome. All right, so this is on adding that term within the economic development and tourism bubble. And Lisa, I'll start with you since it's really your idea, even though
Aye.
all right. Maggie?
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
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 and I. All right. And now we'll go to the whole document as a whole, because that passed as amended then by that one little
So moved.
blurb. Okay, so we're ready to vote on that, and I'll go opposite time this time. Rick?
Aye.
Okay, Tom?
Aye.
David?
Aye.
Okay. Lisa?
Aye.
Maggie?
Aye.
Kenny?
Aye.
And I. Off to the races, Kyler and Natasha. Good to go. Okay, next up is the consent order compliance items. Chris, you ready for us?
Yes, Madam Mayor, good evening, and council as well. In front of you is our memorandum for moving some money around. Memorandum to the town council is for the ARPA grant, DEQ ARPA grant modification. Currently, the town has 2.7 million in unrestricted funds available for eligible wastewater projects such as treatment plant, pump stations, I&I. Staff requests town council authorize the use of these funds for eligible reimbursable projects already approved under the DEQ ARPA grant. Background, in 2022, the town was awarded a $5.7 million ARPA grant. Funds to address infrastructure needs, including wastewater treatment plant repairs, pump stations upgrades, inflow reduction. The town has completed the central drainage area under the grant and already been reimbursed those expenditures. At present, the town has 2.7 million in unrestricted funds to ensure the completion of the remaining projects outlined in the DEQ ARPA grant, performance deadline of October 2026. Staff recommends allocation of these funds towards eligible projects. This approach will both secure full reimbursement to the town, investment support, implementation of town's capital improvement projects, as several projects funded under the DEQ ARPA grant overlap with the consent order as well. By directing the unrestricted remaining funds, we can fulfill the requirement of the DEQ ARPA, reduce CIP obligations by $1.4 million to the treatment plant, which remains under the consent order items for $320,000 for the I&I consent items, and total of 1.7. Projects identified under the DEQ ARPA grant must be completed by October 26 to qualify for reimbursement. The town currently has 2.7 million available. Alternatives, town council can authorize the use of the $2.7 million of unrestricted funds to complete these projects, explore alternative funding options to support the remaining projects, or take no action which would result in forfeiting $2.7 million in reimbursable funds, leaving critical infrastructure projects incomplete. The impact would be move the $2.7 million to these projects for completion by the deadline. Staff recommends town council authorize the use of the unrestricted funds from the ARPA grant account Fund 200 towards these projects outlined in the ARPA grant to ensure reimbursement and all work be completed by October 26th, 2026.
Okay. I don't know that we want to delay this item because it is tied to these contingencies and also to the reimbursement process of DQ, which, as we know, takes a year and a half. So,
So moved.
okay. Is there a second to that?
Second.
All right. Is there any further discussion on this? I think most of us probably know what this is, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, at the last meeting, I asked for some more details on the projects. I haven't seen anything in the email. Did I miss any communications on that?
No, so with these projects, we are requesting that we move the funds over so that we can begin to start the projects. What we have presented to you in the past have been the projects as identified in the DEQ packets. So that's what we have, and we need the funding to go out and start. In some instances, we'll need solicitations drafted and put out. And so without having those funds, other than the project list that we've provided to you, there isn't anything else to provide to you right now. But upon approval tonight, if those funds are moved, we can go ahead and move forward, and where solicitations are required, draft solicitations and provide those to you.
Okay, so we're being asked to approve almost $2.8 million without any real detail. So, I mean, I'm personally not comfortable that. I'm full-on support of actually investing in our infrastructure and getting things fixed, but I'm personally not comfortable voting without at least some detail on the projects.
You'll see
That's
that
my personal.
we've attached along to this memo the sewer fund capital improvement projects, which identifies items that are required per the consent order, which we've discussed before council. Prices included in here for your review. We also have the Schedule 1 project, which we have provided to DEQ, which identifies the different categories along with the cost associated with those. And we've provided these also to council previously.
And just to clarify, where of the 5.7 that was allocated to the town from ARPA funds has already been used for the central drainage area and for some of the I&I testing, and that is already reimbursable. But we had to renegotiate with the consent order new items that aligned with the consent order to make sure that the process of reimbursement could happen. So this is DEQ's money, right? That we are then saying, yes, we are going to obligate it to the items that you, by a judge, say we have to spend it on. And that's what this document is really saying. It's that the consent order items that we are obligated to by law, by a judge, we will use the DEQ money for those items, and that those items will be in alignment with one another for reimbursement. That's really what we're doing tonight. We have to do those items, and we have to pay for them, and we have DEQ money that will allow us to be reimbursed for it. And so that we're authorizing the policy that puts in place the ability for the town staff to then coordinate that process with DEQ.
Ultimately,
Madam
the
Mayor.
things that you're trying to get approval to spend money on are a subset of the items on the sewer fund CIP. Yeah? So I think
Yes.
that's the bottom line. It's a subset of those, the ones that are part of the consent order in particular, and some others.
Right, yeah, I understand all that. I'm just not comfortable with seeing something that says contract for professional services or planning for professional services, 400,000, or engineering services, 320,000. I mean, that's a lot of money. I asked for more detail and didn't get it, so, but that's just me. I don't know that anybody else really cares, but I'm good with my piece that I just said.
Okay. Is there any other discussion on the item? Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. With no further discussion, I'll do a roll call vote. Ms. Grandstaff?
Aye.
Ms. Sanford? Aye. Gotcha. Mr. Allison?
Aye.
Everybody's doing it twice now?
I want to push the button.
Okay. Mr.
Aye,
Wood? Aye, aye. Mr. Larson?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Nay.
And I vote aye. And very thankful to the hard work of our staff and DEQ and our state partners for the $5.7 million that is going to go towards very critical infrastructure needs at our sewer plant. All right, next up is a request for the public hearing. So all we're doing tonight is setting the public hearing for the regular November work session on the Chesapeake Bay Preservation District tree overlay. This was passed to us by the Planning Commission. They approved it unanimously, is my understanding. And so we will have the document as a first read, but also just the only action tonight is to set the public hearing date.
So moved.
Okay, is there a second to that?
Second.
Okay. Yes, Sarah?
Madam Mayor, pardon me, we had originally discussed having this at the public hearing at your November work session. My understanding earlier is you were having some discussion about your November work session date.
Yeah.
So would you prefer this to be at your regular meeting in November, since you're dedicating the work session for your other discussion that you mentioned earlier with Davenport?
Is it too, well, I mean, I leave this discussion up to council on this. Is it too difficult to move it to October's regular meeting? Is that too fast? I don't know how everybody else feels about the work of the planning commission, if they need more time with it.
I won't be here.
Bless you.
So we have critical staff who will not be available October 15th.
Oh, okay. All right, so November regular meeting? What do we think about that? Can we amend the motion to that?
Amended.
Oh, you're not at the regular meeting
At the
either?
regular meeting.
Yeah, okay. Tom, I see, you want to say
I'm
something?
confused, because I thought we had talked about adding the October 29th session, leaving the November work session in place, so I'm not sure why we can't do it then.
We can, I think we were going to try to leave the option to moving the November work session to the 29th, if we could.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
So, I mean, if we set this up now for that, we're obligated to both meetings, back to back, and if we don't set this up for that, then we aren't necessarily obligated
You're
to that.
planning for flexibility, I see.
I don't know,
It's all
Maggie's
good.
got a baby, she don't want to be every,
I'm fine, I'm fine.
December's
This item isn't time sensitive, so we can push it out, November or December meeting, actually.
Okay, so I think the motion has been accepted to amend it to the November regular meeting at this point. So just to follow procedure on that, I think that's where we're at, unless I hear a strong moving it again date-wise. All right, all in favor of that, say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, and then I just, I don't know if we'll have some time with it then, from now, the whole month of October and really most of the month of November. So you have it in your packet, take a look at it, ask Darla questions between now and then too, and she'll present as well. She'll have a presentation when we do the public hearing as well, so. But it's not that long, thank God. All right, that's all I got, guys. So with that, I think we get to adjourn tonight at 7:08 PM. Thank you so
Rocket
much for
docket.
coming.